We're honored to be joined by one
there?
of the people who is going to help us build this incredible future.
Elon?
And he is a truly incredible guy. And I don't say that often.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right.
He's a great gentleman. He's done such an unbelievable job for North Carolina, for Georgia, for Alabama, for Florida, for Tennessee.
Who's this?
His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space.
He's actually bro, he's actually pumping him up.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Yeah, bro, he's actually hyping him like crazy. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Oh boy, here we go.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Good one.
Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire.
Yeah.
And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight! Blood coming down the face.
Okay.
Now,
I got this.
America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want representing America?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election.
That's right.
The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech.
This is the last election.
They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. You got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting.
I'm going to be honest. I'm with them on this.
I still can't believe that's real.
Yeah, I can't. I think that's so stupid.
How are you supposed to have
you should have to have ID to vote.
No ID.
I'm totally with them on this.
And free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And if people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech.
Well, that's the problem.
In order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is there to ensure that we have the First Amendment.
You can vote without ID? I don't even know how to vote. Like, I just show up.
President Trump must win to preserve the Constitution. He must win to preserve democracy in America.
You aren't allowed to vote anywhere? Did they take it away from me?
Yes.
I like how he's just standing there. Yeah.
This is a must-win situation. Must win. So I have one ask for everyone in the audience, everyone who watches this video, everyone in the live stream. There's one request. It's very important. Register to vote. Okay? And get everyone you know.
I'm registered.
And everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. So thank you, and honestly, you want to just be a pest. Just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street, everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, 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 vote. Vote, vote, vote.
Thank you. Goes
So many
back
chats like,
further
when's
than
the
you
shooting
can
gonna
see.
start? Shut up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Shut up,
Thank you
idiot.
very much. So what our opponents have never understood is that this movement has never been about me. It's always been about you. It's been about a lot of people, millions and millions of people, the biggest ever in the history of this country, maybe anywhere. And everyday people who are the heart and soul of our country. They love our movement, they love our country, and they know they're doing right. Your hopes are my hopes, your dreams are my dreams, and your future is what I am fighting for every single day.
Yeah.
And now I have a great companion in JD Vance. How good was he the other night? How good?
To be fair, he did do really well. Okay? Yeah, he did great.
It was great.
He slayed. He did. He did slay.
He was great. But from the very beginning of this journey, I've been on a mission to rescue our country from a failed and very corrupt political establishment.
That's bad.
Very corrupt.
Real
we have
bad.
to change it. We have to change it. We need also a very free and open press. And to give it back to the country you believe in and I believe in. It's a country that we were born in and the country that you deserve. You deserve this. In that mission, I will never quit. I will never bend. I will never break. I will never yield, not even in the face of death itself.
Yeah.
And I believe that
That's
every
right.
citizen deserves an America with a grand, very, very grand ambition, great opportunities, and limitless. We just want limitless potential. We want an America where you can get ahead and be proud of life and provide for your family in a really decent way, where we don't have crime.
No
we have
more
a fabulous
crime.
military
True.
to protect us from evil. We have everything has to be
That's
the
right.
best. We have to have the best
Get
schools.
rid of the evil.
We have to have strong borders. We don't want bad people coming in and hurting us.
They're eating
We
the
don't
cats
wanna
and
have-
dogs.
We don't want to have open borders, do we? You deserve a government that protects and respects its own citizens, that defends your sovereignty, your security, and your dignity and your freedom. You deserve a nation that builds things, again, makes things better, that aims for the stars once more and that once again commands respect. And we want to get respect like we had it 4 years ago. The entire world respected us. They respected us. They respected us more than they've ever respected us. And now they laugh at us. We can't have them laugh at us, can we? Above all, you deserve leadership in Washington that does not answer to the lobbyists, to the bureaucrats, or to the corrupt special interests, but answers only to you, the hardworking citizens of America, of which there are a lot of them. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of them. Over the past 8 years, those who want to stop us from achieving this future have slandered me, impeached me, indicted
True.
me, tried to throw me off the ballot,
That's right.
and who knows, maybe even tried to kill me. But I've never stopped fighting for you, and I never will. Never will. Never
That's
going to
right.
stop. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And in turn, you have always stood with me. You have always stood with me, no matter what. You saw what was going on. You saw the hoaxes and the scams. You saw everything that went on.
So true.
We are a team. We're a great team, I think. We're probably the best team ever in the history of our country, if you really think about it. We've fought together. We have endured together. We have pushed onward together. And right here in Pennsylvania, we have bled together. We've bled. We've had 3 people that really got hit hard. 2 of them made it. Great doctors. Great doctors. They weren't supposed to make it. I wasn't supposed to make it. People said, my great doctor at Butler said, "Sir, you're the luckiest man alive. This would be a good time for you to go out and buy a lottery ticket." I've never seen anything like. I almost went out and bought a lottery ticket. I'll take it. And 31 days from now, here in this great Commonwealth, And all across our land, we are going to win together. We are going to vote together. We're going to win the greatest election in the history of our country, maybe the greatest election all time.
Of all, the greatest election. There's never been a better election than this one. This is the last one.
After we all have been through all of this together, we have.
This is the last
nobody's
election,
gone through
guys.
what we've gone through. Nobody, because I go through it. You're going through it too, but there's never been anything like this. You know, I always say there's an enemy from within, and there's an outside enemy. And if you're smart, the outside enemy is not going to be a problem. Russia, China, North Korea. We're not going to have a problem if you have a smart president.
That's right.
If you have not such a smart president, then it's a problem.
Oh, because Kamala
But we
is
have
stupid.
an enemy from within, which I think is much more dangerous than the outside enemy. We stand on the
'Cause
verge
she's
of the
stupid,
four greatest years in the history of our country. We can make these the four greatest years. We'll turn it around so fast that your head will spin.
That's really fast. Holy shit. Think about that.
With victory on November 5th, we are going to redeem America's promise and unlock the extraordinary future that is just within our reach. It is now within our reach. Think of it, 1 month from today, 1 month. We got to get there.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get
the
there.
election.
They'll drop all sorts of bombs. They'll be hitting you, JD. They'll be hitting me. These people, they'll hit and hit. But I think we've almost become immune to it, haven't we? We've become immune to it. You got a little dose of it, a couple of little doses. That's the only way.
Please don't bring up the sofa.
That's the only way they can even think about winning, with open borders. Who wants open borders? Who wants men playing in women's sports?
Boo.
Who wants sex change operations for illegal aliens in holding bins? No, I don't think so. We will begin a new era of soaring income, skyrocketing wealth, millions and millions of new jobs, and a booming middle class. We're going to boom like we've never boomed before. And we're going to unleash a manufacturing renaissance right here in Pennsylvania, including fracking like we've never fracked before. We're going to frack.
I love this guy.
You know, our opponents said,
really
there'll be no fracking, no fracking. We'll never frack. We'll never frack. Then she started seeing poll
so
numbers.
Fucking funny.
And by the way, speaking of poll numbers, do you mind if I mention poll numbers? Because I only mention them when they're good. I'd never mention it. But one that's hit me really amazingly, Rasmussen, very highly respected poll. JD, it just came out. I don't think you heard this one, but this is a shocker. You know, they always say the Democrats will win the Hispanic vote, but we've been creeping up rather rapidly. And Rasmussen
He's honest.
is one of the most respected polls. I mean, Republicans would get 4, 5, 6, 9, 10%. They just came out with a poll. 62% for Trump. Think of that. Think of that. And 34% for Kamala.
62-34.
I don't usually use her last name because nobody knows who I'm talking about. I go, Harris. They say, who's Harris? It's happening all the time. Who's Harris?
Oh, my God.
And we can't find out who she is, because if we do, our country is going to be in big trouble. We will live in a very beautiful city or town that are safe and clean, with borders that are sealed and secure.
I think that he's right.
And again, we
in a
want
lot of
people
cases.
to come
That's
into
what's
our
funny.
country. We all want that. We need that. But you know what? We want it to come in legally.
He's
They're going to come in
egoing her?
legally
Yeah.
in love for our country.
I don't
And
use
America
her last
will once
name.
again be strong and confident and free. And we're going to have that. We're going to have it strong, confident, and free. That's why I'm here today. You know, I could right now be having a beautiful life. I don't have to be here. I could be on a gorgeous beach someplace. I have such nice property. I could be in Monte Carlo as an example. But I'd rather be in Butler with you. I would rather. I'd rather be in Butler. And I think JD would rather be in Butler, JD.
Yeah. Oh, man. I wonder how big the crowd is. I wish they'd show, like...
No, I'd rather be here. Because we're doing something. You know, they got a lot of rich guys that go, nobody cares about them. I had one about a month ago, very, very rich guy.
70K people there?
He called me up. He said, President, I've known him for a long time. I don't say how long because I don't want my wife to hear that number. It's a long time. But he's very successful. And he said to me, sir, could you do me a favor? The guy's worth billions of dollars. He said, could you do me a favor? I can't get into a restaurant. Do you think you could call them to get me in? And I said, what the hell is the good of being rich if you can't get into a restaurant, right? And I called the maitre d'. Hi, I'm a little embarrassed. Hi, this is Donald Trump. I recognize your voice. I said, would you do me a favor? A friend of mine is online about a mile back. This is a very successful restaurant. And he's got his wife. I described the wife. Could you possibly go get them? Could you go get them and bring them in? And he did. And my friend called me up the next day. He said, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, doctor, please. Doctor in the house. Thank you.
Another fatality at a Trump rally? Voice is a bloodbath.
It's all right, doctor. Go ahead. That's all right.
This is the last election? Yeah, this is the last one we're going to do. Because either Trump wins and he becomes the emperor and he's just the president forever, or Kamala wins and she starts World War III and everybody dies.
People are here for a long time, and we appreciate it very much. And so sometimes that happens. A lot of times that happens, actually. But she'll be great. You watch. So 12 weeks ago, we all took a bullet for America, and all we are all asking is that everyone goes out and votes. We got to win. We can't let this happen to our country. We can't take another 4 years like this. We won't have a country left. We're not going to have a country left. And all of this will be for nothing if you don't get out and vote. It will all be for nothing. We will have talked about it, and if we do it, it'll be the greatest achievement, I think, in the history of politics for all of us for this age.
True.
Because we're going to change our country around and fast. We're going to do things that nobody thought were possible. We're going to do them fast. So Pennsylvania, it's time to stand up for America, and time to save our country. This is really about saving our country. It's never been like this. When you look at the crime, look at the crime. Look at the people that are coming in, murderers. 13,099 murderers let in over the last short period of time.
Oh, my God.
Murderers that have been
Can we get an L in the chat
from
for
penitentiaries, prisons, jails, released into our country. Crime rates all over the world are down. They're taking their gang members and their criminals. They're taking their people in jail, and they're releasing them into our country. We can't have it. Nope. You know, we just can't have it. How do you get more simple than that? They're releasing murderers. They're releasing drug dealers. They're releasing gang members and criminals. Mm-hmm. Human traffickers. Mostly they traffic in women. And they're releasing them all into our country. And they're emptying their jails. And their crime rates in Venezuela are way down because, you know, but it's not only in South America. It's all over the world, in Africa, the Congo. There are a lot of people coming out of the Congo in Africa. They're coming out from Asia.
Congo.
They're coming out from the Middle East,
Yemen. They're coming
Yemen.
from Africa again?
They're coming out from Yemen. A lot of people coming out of Yemen. And they're known terrorists, and they just release them into our country from countries unknown also. They know nothing about the people. Oh, go right in. These people are crazy. And we have to win. We'll stop it immediately, and it will be a big deportation. We're going to deport these people. We're going to get them out of our country immediately. Or we won't have a country. And if we win Pennsylvania, we will win the whole thing. The whole thing will be won. So for the sake of our families, for the sake of our children, we will keep on going. And as the expression goes, I mean, I'm a little embarrassed to say it, to be honest with you, but I'm going to say it because a lot of people do say it. We will fight, fight, fight. We're going to fight for our country. We're going to fight for our country.
Yeah.
And together we will save this country, we will restore the republic, and America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer and greater, and more united than ever before. Our country will be united. You'll watch. You'll watch.
I think Trump is
we had
gonna
the
win.
most successful country ever, maybe in the world during my term. We had the greatest economy that we've ever had. And you know what was happening? We were uniting. The other side, radical left people were coming over. They wanted to meet. They were coming over. Women, men. If you look at population, our black population, our Hispanic population, our Asian population, everybody was doing better.
It's going to be the biggest one you've ever seen.
That went to the best schools and best colleges in the world, got the highest marks, and people that couldn't get a high school degree, everybody was doing better, and our country was coming together. And then we got hit with COVID, a gift from China. Some people would call it the China virus. And we did a great job on that, too. We did a great job, but the world was disturbed. $60 trillion in damage worldwide, millions and millions of, tens of millions of people killed. And we still, during this 4-year period, we had the greatest economy, one of the great countries of the world. And we left with a stock market that was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in. So what we did was something really incredible. But we had the greatest, most successful country ever. We had the greatest economy in our history. And we're going to do it again, and maybe even better. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about people and about doing things and what works and what doesn't work. And we're going to do it, and it's going to be quick.
Damn.
It's going to be quick. And we're going to have safe cities, and we're going to have great cities again. And we're going to have a capital in Washington, D.C., which is right now crime-ridden. You leave from the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you go drive down to Washington, D.C., and you drive down and you end up getting murdered. You end up getting hurt. You get mugged.
Texas is going to be red anyway.
We are going to straighten out Washington, D.C. We're going to make it again the most beautiful capital in the world. We're not going to have graffiti. We're not going to have graffiti on our marble columns. We're not going to have roads that have potholes all over them and medians that are falling into the highways. We're going to run it properly.
GB was telling me yesterday there's so many potholes in Pennsylvania.
It's an embarrassment to us. Can you imagine foreign leaders coming in and running over roads that haven't been paved in years? You know, we're all having fun here tonight, but if we don't register and if we don't vote, we're just going to look upon this as another sort of nice day in our life, but it won't even be a nice day. We're going to look back and we're going to say, wow, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. We got to win. If we don't win, it's, as he said, it's just not important. We have to save our country, so you have to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. You got to get your friends and vote because, you know, they play a lot of tricks, this particular other side.
I'm going to have my dog
Elon's
vote.
a very nice guy. He doesn't want to say it, but they play a lot of tricks. We can't let it happen. We can't let it happen again. We can't let it happen. And one thing, they showed us how bad they are. They showed us how bad a job they do.
I just made them up.
That's one thing we got from this 4 years. They've done the worst job. It's the worst president in the history of our country. It's the worst vice president in the history of our country. And if you watched over the last couple of days, they are doing, this is a Katrina for them. This is one of the worst.
Oh, George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Helping people through the ravages of a hurricane. And they're watching, she's out there campaigning in San Francisco, a place that she ruined. Okay, she ruined San Francisco.
Ooh.
She ruined, think of this, she ruined San Francisco. She was the worst DA, and she ruined the state of California, and now she wants to ruin the United States of America. We can't let her do it. So I called Elon to tell him that they needed Starlink as an example. They couldn't get Starlink. I didn't know what Starlink was, I must tell you. Elon, I'm so embarrassed. I didn't know what the hell Starlink was. He loves Starlink. He can tell you every little screw that's needed, every wire. Me, I didn't know. But when I was in North Carolina and Georgia the other day, yesterday to be exact, but they were saying we have tremendous communications, especially in North Carolina. And we have tremendous problems. We have no communication. The poles were ripped down. The wires were underwater. Houses were destroyed. Possibly 1,000 people, maybe more, will be, you know, there's 600 people missing. Missing is not good because you know what missing means generally. That's really bad. and they had no communication. They had literally no communication with, they called it the mainland because the water was so crazy. It was like they were in the middle of a lake.
Super bad.
And they'd never seen anything like it. And they said, do you
Not
know
good.
somebody named Elon Musk? I said, yeah, I happen to know him a little bit. He just endorsed me, actually. Although he endorsed me a long time ago. But he still, to me, every day is a good endorsement from Elon. Nobody's smarter than Elon. And they said, could you do us a favor? Could you help us? We're trying to get Starlink, and it's very hard to get. Most people say you can't even get it. I called up Elon. I said, North Carolina's in big trouble. Georgia's in big trouble. They need communication. They have none because their poles have been knocked down and their wires are underwater and even dangerously underwater. But they have no communication. Elon, could you do something about Starlink, whatever the hell that is, Elon? Whatever Starlink, that's all they want to hear is Starlink. And an amazing thing happened. I got a call from one of the top people in North Carolina. I got a call from another great person in Georgia. And I wasn't finished with my phone call yet. And they got word that Starlink would be delivered to the States. I said, no. And I said, what the hell is he? What kind of a system is that? Normally you'd have to hang up and he'd go and call people. He did it during the phone call. What kind of a system do you have? That's why he's a very advanced. He is a very advanced person. But I want to thank you, Elon, because I got it. And I said, how does it work? 2 days later, how does it work?
Yeah.
They said, much better than the wires. So now I'm saying, why the hell aren't they? You're going to come out very well anyway. And you know, he also said, you don't have to pay me. You pay me someday when you get the money back. You don't have to pay me. He wanted nothing. He's a great guy. Thank you, Elon, for being here. Thank you very much.
It is a W that he did that.
Great honor.
It is good he did that.
Great
100%.
honor.
Hashtag ad. Good ad. We should make the moon the
Thank you,
51st
Elon.
state.
And that's heartfelt. I can't even see the end. That's a lot of people here today. We're also joined by a great gentleman, a top, brilliant student. He went to a tremendous college and he graduated like right at the top of his class. In 2 years, I didn't know you could do that. It's 4-year college. Then he went to the military. Then he came out and he did fantastically JD? Inside the military. Then he came out. He went to Yale.
Yes,
without
JD.
the benefit of family ties. You know what that means, right? Without the benefit. That's pretty good without family ties. I don't know too many of those people. They had no family ties. He got in. He can't get in. And he graduated along with his wife. They're not going to have any problems with your kids academically, I can tell you. His wife and him were like the top students in the class. But he went to Yale Law School, and then he went out into the private sector, did great. Then he ran for the Senate, and he did fantastically. He won. And he's like a rocket ship. He's like one of Elon's rocket ships, the way his career is
There's
going.
like too many birds that are like flying
But you see why? Because he's a really brilliant guy.
Yeah.
And you saw that the other night in the debate, right? You saw that the other night in the debate.
I mean, to be fair, I did think JD, like, he did really well.
You know
the
expression they have?
He did.
If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right?
Oof.
So I just want to thank JD. I was always confident in that pick.
The glasses for
and
COVID.
We had great people too, JD. We have every one of those guys were great. Every one of them would have done a great job. It was amazing. But we appreciate the job you're doing. And he's also very energetic. And he'll go on anywhere. He'll go on MSDNC. I say, oh, he's on that. He'll go on CNN. It's like he has no problem. He swats them like this. He has no problem. No, it's true. You know, other people say, sir, I'd rather not do that one. I'd rather not do that one, sir. I'd rather not do them because they are, you know, very. With him, he doesn't care. He says, they're not going to outsmart me. So I want to thank JD. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. Amazing.
Yep.
Great.
Trump won't debate. He shouldn't need to. That's it. They should end on
We
that
have a
one.
lot of senators and a lot of people from Congress. I'm going to introduce a few of them that are really outstanding, and they are warriors and they're great patriots. Senator Eric Schmidt. Where's Eric Schmidt? He's around here someplace. Nice, tall, handsome guy.
He already won. It's over.
Thank you.
You think
Eric.
that's it?
What a great job you've done. He helps us so much with the Senate. And we've
What's
got
the
a great
website
Senate,
for
but
betting
we have
again?
to-
What's
we
the
have to
gambling
get
website?
a couple of more senators elected. I think it's going to happen, too. I think it's going to happen. We have members of
Polymarket,
Congress
there you
here.
go.
Dan Muser. Dan, where's Dan? Great job. Real warrior. These are warriors. Guy Reschenthaler. That's the hardest name in the Senate to pronounce, but I've learned how to pronounce it. Guy, thank you very much. Great. Where's Guy? Guy, thank you very much, Guy. Glenn G.T. Thompson.
Ooh.
Fantastic guy. Thanks, Glenn. Great job. John Joyce. Thank you, John. Great. Corey Mills. He's out there fighting, too. He's out there. He is out there in North Carolina, Georgia. He's out there helping people. Mike
It looks like Trump's
Waltz,
ahead.
who's a tremendous national security asset. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Okay, and a man who was my doctor. I got to know him as a doctor in the White House, right? And then before that, he was
There's $1 billion
actually an admiral.
bet
Then
on
he went to
this?
the White House. He was a great admiral. He was a great doctor.
I should start a gambling website.
And I love him for one reason. They asked him in the White House, the press,
Yeah, I need
the
to
fake
start
news
that.
media said, who is the most? He was the doctor for Obama, Bush, and Trump. That's pretty good, right? White House doctor for the three of us. He said, the press, who is the healthiest of the three? He said, definitely it's Donald Trump. There's not even a contest. And I love that guy. When he said that, JD, when he said that, I said, I like this guy.
There's nobody
So then
healthier.
he said, you know, sir, he was leaving the White House. He said, you know, I'd love to run for Congress. And he ran against 28 people. They were all running for the Republican primary because whoever won that primary is going to win. I think it's a Trump plus 48. Whoever wins gets 48 point start. And not only did he win, he won easily. And now he's one of the most popular people in Congress and one of the most talented, maybe more importantly. Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie? Where's Ronnie? Where is he? Oh, good. Thank you, Ronnie. And you got a lot of talent surrounding you there. I think it's very important also. We're here for a reason, and that's to win and to honor Corey. But Corey wants us to win, too. And there's a man in the audience that's been very much a career path, a little bit like JD, great student, great talented student, and fantastic in the military, then went out to be a tremendous success, one of the most successful people on Wall Street, actually. And he's tough and he's smart, and he's going to make sure you always have fracking in Pennsylvania. And he's going to make sure you have many other things other than fracking. You have a senator that now does nothing. He does nothing. And he doesn't fight for you. He votes with Biden, if you can believe it, like 100% of the time. But this guy, and you know, we're lucky that he does it. I don't know. He might not have done it if he had it to do again. I don't know. But I think he's just one of the most outstanding people anywhere in the country to run for office. And we're lucky that he's doing it, and he's got a real shot. He's doing very well in the polls. It's hard to beat somebody that's been there a long time, but this is somebody that's been there a long time and did nothing. He did nothing. And his name is David McCormick, and he's great, and I hope he's going to be your next senator.
McCormick, isn't that for pepper?
And I see somebody else I didn't know he was here.
Thought.
Mike Kelly. I see Mike Kelly here. Stand up. Oh, boy, am I lucky. Am I lucky I spotted him. If I didn't spot you, Mike, I was in big trouble, right? This is a man who's beloved in this state, and he's fantastic. So thank you, Mike. Thank you. We also
it's getting
have
darker earlier.
some
Biden's in bed by now.
terrific people from law enforcement.
Wait, Biden's
Butler
asleep?
County Sheriff Mike Sloop.
Y'all think he's asleep by now? It's 6 p.m.
Thank you, Mike. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your help, too, I could tell you. Thank you for your help. I can say that. Thank you very much.
Sleeping since 4
Butler
p.m. When
County
you wake up?
Commissioner
3 p.m.
Leslie Oshie. Leslie,
Oshie.
thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Great job. RNC Chairman Michael Watley. This guy is doing a great job. He's doing great. Came from North Carolina. We won North Carolina. He kept their cheating down to a minimum, and we were able to win it, and we were solid all night long.
That's right.
He's great, but if we don't have good results by the 6th of November, I will never say that about him again. No, he's a great guy. He's working very hard. 24 hours a day he's working. I know that. And he's working mostly on stop the steal, because we have a lot of votes. We have plenty of votes. Stop the steal. That's why you've got to get out. You've got to get out and vote. We're going to win this thing. And the more we win it, you know, it's too big to rig. You know the expression we use? Make it too big to rig. You know, at a certain point, Elon would understand this better than anybody statistically. At a certain point, their cheating doesn't matter. And we want to make it too big to rig. And we also have somebody that's very special, the co-chair of the Republican Party, Lara Trump. Thank you. Lara, thanks.
Too big to rig.
And, you know, oftentimes with families, they say, oh, you know, why did you put that one in or this one in, and all the different people. So many people have problems with that. In her case, everyone said, how the hell did you get her to do it? She has been unbelievable, so thank you very much. Comes from North Carolina, and I have a feeling she's going to be spending some time down there a little bit.
The EU likes Trump.
And she's married to my wonderful son,
Who are you guys going to vote for,
right
Trump or Kamala?
Eric, please stand up.
We got
He's a great guy.
one guy said
Eric
Kanye.
has a distinction. He has gotten more
Kanye.
subpoenas than any man in the history of our country by about 10
Kanye.
times. Every day Congress would meet, they'd send him a subpoena. What is it about? They have no idea. But I think he's got the all-time record, and he's handled it all beautifully. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A friend of mine, a great, great businessman, one of the most respected people, and he made a big, big contribution yesterday to Georgia and a big contribution to North Carolina. Steve Witkoff is here. Hi, Steve. Thanks. And another man who's one of the greatest businessmen in the country, he actually said that if Trump doesn't win, this country is going to go into a massive depression. Well, I don't know about that, but he said
that would
has
be
been
bad.
A very good predictor, I will say that.
That would be really bad.
Truly one of the greats, one of the great pickers, picker meaning stocks.
Paul?
He knows what he's doing, and highly respected by everybody. John Paulson. Thank you, John. Great.
His name was
Great
John
guy.
Paulson.
And we have so many others, and I won't do it because we have to really get out of here before it gets too cold for people. But I love it much better because there's one teleprompter. Not that I use the teleprompters too much. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? No, we don't. We don't need it. But this one was right smack in the sun. Great job back there, fellas. They said the teleprompters are working fine. Well, thank goodness. Did you see what happened the other day with the teleprompter with her? That was not a pretty sight. The teleprompter went off and she went off too. She didn't know what the hell happened.
She went off too.
And you know, teleprompters are very dangerous because they go off a lot. You have to be prepared for them to go off cold blank. You'll have 100,000 people. You have 75,000 people.
I feel like he's at his
the
best when he's
teleprompter
talking
goes off,
shit.
you got to be able to move. She did not move well.
If he's
This
talking
was not a
shit,
good
like, bro,
situation.
he's in his element.
But three more heroes from July 13th who rendered first aid to Corey incredibly. Dr. Jim Sweetland. Rico Elmore, who was unbelievable. Rico, you were unbelievable.
Natural born shit
He
talker.
ran
yeah.
over, National Guard. He ran over and grabbed Corey, and Corey was still living, and he was doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a man who was really in bad shape like nobody's ever seen, and his family appreciates it, and I do too. So thank you, Rico, very much. Right? Amazing, amazing, amazing the people that we have. And you learn about them under times like this. That's when you really learn. So we're going to be seeing Rico again. And Ed Shear,
Mouth on a man?
fantastic
That's
job.
gay?
Thank you, Ed.
Wait,
we appreciate
gay?
it. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ed. Great job. In addition, this evening we have to send our prayers and support to all the families affected by Hurricane Helene. This has been the worst hurricane response by a president and vice president since Katrina, and this is simply not acceptable. Those people,
Biden
I was
doesn't
there
care
yesterday
about-
with
wait, are there black
North
people there? I
Carolina
don't
and
know.
Georgia. And I'll tell you, and by the
Ask
way, the
Kanye.
governor of Georgia is doing an excellent job, excellent job. But we have other people that aren't doing a good job.
Yeah,
and
whatever happened?
We have to have them
He
do a
should
good
bring
job.
Kanye to one of the
But
rallies.
the federal government is doing a very bad job. They are not doing the job, and we have death and destruction that we haven't seen maybe ever. It's a real bad one, and they have to get people there because they don't have people there. They don't have the people. Kamala wined and dined in San Francisco, and all of the people in North Carolina, no helicopters, no rescue. It's just what's happened there is very bad. They're offering them $750 to people whose homes have been washed away.
That's about right.
And yet we send tens of billions of dollars to foreign countries that most people have never heard of. They're offering them $750. They've been destroyed. These people have been destroyed. The one young lady washed, you saw that with her son? I mean, pretty, I wish I never saw it, but just washed away. His son was washed away with the grandparents, and so sad. And they're offering,
Migrants
they're
get
giving
hotels.
them $750.
That's right,
think
guys.
Of it. We give foreign countries hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're handing North Carolina $750. If you want a president who won't even try to save you when the floodwaters are rising, vote for Kamala. She's not the right person. Look, you know what? If they did a good job, I wouldn't have run. To be honest with you, I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to. If I thought they were doing an even modestly good job, I wouldn't have run. But I saw right from the beginning, grossly incompetent, and I was right about that, and I decided to run. And we're doing really well. I was telling you about polls. We're way up in some polls. We're up in other polls.
We're up in
and with
some
the swing states, I think most of them have us up in every single swing state, including the great commonwealth of a place called Pennsylvania. And don't ever not call it a commonwealth, because I've seen people call it a state, and that's the end of them. That's practically the end of their political career. You got to be very careful with Pennsylvania. It's that
what the
commonwealth.
Fuck is a commonwealth?
I haven't made that mistake.
It's like
I don't
some
want
British
to
shit. Like, I don't fucking
picture.
know.
If you want a president who will stop at nothing to protect you and your family, I hope you're going to vote for a gentleman named Donald J. Trump.
Wow.
Have you heard of him? Together we will rebuild Western North Carolina, rural Georgia, and every other state that's been so badly affected. That includes Alabama. Virginia was very hit hard. South Carolina was hit very hard. Florida. So many states. Tennessee was hit really hard.
They need to get more guys like him
they were all
behind
hit,
Trump.
and we're going to work with them.
That,
and
do weird
the
shit.
next president is going to be the one that really wants
they do.
They got to get this done. But once that happens, the
it
next
just makes it more
president is going to be
entertaining.
the one that has to really help him, and JD will be there to help him.
Has he mentioned a single policy? Yeah.
2024 is the most important
illegals.
election in the history of our country. And here are the facts. My opponent, Kamala Harris, is the most incompetent and far-left nominee ever to run for president. You know, she's much further left than crazy Bernie Sanders. You know that. She wants to open borders. She took the most secure border in U.S. history and turned it into the worst border in the history of the world. Remember, she was appointed border czar. She says she wasn't now after 3 years, but she was. But whether she was or not, she was in charge of the border. And the other day I saw her get up and say, we will do this, we will do that. We're going to. Why didn't they do it 4 years ago? Why didn't they do it? The damage is so bad, and so it's been done. She let in 21 million illegal aliens from all over the world, from prisons and jails and mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're terrorists at record levels, at levels we've never seen before. She cost you $29,000 a family through inflation price hikes, and now she wants a larger tax hike. She wants to go the largest tax hike in American history. There's never been a tax hike like what she's proposing. She's going to raise your taxes a minimum of $3,000. She's a big taxer. And she was the original creator of Defund the Police. I think for all the sheriffs over here, if you're a partner in Defund the Police for even 2 days, you cannot be president.
Yesterday.
But she was one of the founders of Defund the Police, and she still believes that, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could, but she still believes that. And if she ever had a chance, there's a good possibility she'd go back to it. Can you imagine? Somebody's robbing our house. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. That's what they say. There's nothing. You know, they tried it. And you know where they tried it? In Minnesota with our vice president. And it wasn't working out too well. It was working out very well for the robbers and the criminals. That's the only one it was working out well for. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for illegals. And worst of all, she lost. And this is maybe the worst thing in the whole.
Trump will win.
Nobody talks. The fake news won't mention it. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children that are now dead in slavery or just plain missing, probably never to be seen again, never to see their parents again. But this isn't like, this is 325,000 have been lost. She praised the idea of a 70% to an 80% tax rate. She imposed a natural gas export ban on Pennsylvania, which is killing your energy workers and your pricing. You know, you have one of the highest energy costs in the country, and yet you're sitting on top of a massive amount of energy that she doesn't want to get. It's been a disaster for your state, and now she's vowed repeatedly. Now, all of a sudden, she changed her mind. But when, you know, with politicians, it's always the first statement that comes out to be the one they want. So she spent 14 years knocking fracking. We're never going to have fracking. We're not going to frack. All of a sudden, a little while ago, she came out, I love fracking very much. No, she'll go back to it. And she even endorsed free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. I don't think Elon likes that idea. These are not ideas that Elon Musk likes too much.
We're doing
and it was
free
just announced
sex
yesterday in California.
operations for
you took
illegal
this one from me.
immigrants in detention centers.
But think of it.
That's how it is.
That the far less than average governor, Gavin Newsom, has banned any and all ID requirements from voting and registering to vote. You're not even allowed to mention the fact, Elon. You're not allowed to mention the fact. You can't say, may I see your ID? If you do, it's a criminal act. This is a takeover of the country. You're not allowed to ask for an ID. If you do, it's a criminal count. Other Democrat states are following. This is only so they can cheat.
I think you should have to have ID to vote.
There's only one thing that you do this for.
If you can't get
so
an
that
ID,
you can
you're too
cheat
stupid
on
to vote.
elections. There's no other conceivable reason. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist. She is a woman that's not respected in Congress. She was laughed at Congress. Nobody thought she could win. You know, they did a
not having
coup.
ID to vote? Not true.
Biden, whether you like him or not, I'm not a particularly big fan. But we had a debate, and the debate ended, and all of a sudden they come to him and they say, we want you out. You're not going to win the election.
Joe.
And he said, I don't want to get out. He got 14 million votes. If you believe in democracy or a system, he got 14 million votes.
I thought it was 80 something.
And she got none. She was the first one out, 22 candidates, and she never made it to Iowa. She quit before Iowa, and now she's running, and that's okay. But, you know, we spent $150 million beating Biden, and as soon as he was down and out for the count, they said, let's take him out. We'll give somebody else to run. Never happened before. We do a lot of firsts, I will tell you. We do a lot of firsts. But she's a person that rated even worse in every statistic than any other senator. She was rated at the bottom of the U.S. Senate. She's destroyed everything she touched. But the good news is that we have a plan to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it fast. Nobody is going to stand for open borders. Nobody is going to stand for a bad military. Nobody is going to stand for education that's not proper. We're moving education back to the states.
They teach kids how to be gay now instead of math.
So we have, you know, in education, so important is what's more important than education, but we rank at the bottom of every list. They rank 40 major countries. We're at the bottom. But we're top of the list as the cost per pupil. We spend more per pupil, per student, than any other country anywhere in the world. So we're number one in that, and we're number 38, 39, or 40 every single time. And you have Denmark, you have Sweden, you have Norway, you have China. It's always the top five. Can you believe it? China's the top five. That's amazing. But we're going to move our education back to the states. So places like Indiana and Iowa and Idaho and states that you don't even hear too much of because they're so good and so well run, they're going to run their own education. And you know what's going to come out of that? A Denmark, a Norway, a Sweden, maybe, I don't even know, China. Can you imagine China with 1.4 billion people is a top 5, and we're close to 40. We are 40 sometimes. Starting on day 1, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion into our country.
We have to kick stupid kids out of school.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. Dwight Eisenhower right now has that record. It's not, and by the way, it's not something I want to do. I dread having to do
Lithium
it, but we
mines?
have no choice.
Yeah.
What they've done to our country is not even believable, especially the criminals, the criminal element that's in our country. And again, all over the world, crime rates are down because they've taken their criminals and they've dumped them into the United States. And you know what? I would have been worse than them. I would have had it done even faster. They've dumped them into the United States.
He's saying he would have done the same thing.
And it's dangerous out there. We're getting them out. We're getting them out quickly. And we will defeat inflation, and we will make America affordable again. And it's going to start with liquid gold. We have more liquid gold, oil, and gas under our feet than any nation in the world, including Saudi Arabia and Russia. We will become energy independent like we were just 4 years ago. You know, 4 years ago, we were energy independent. Can you believe it? And then we were going to become energy dominant. We will be dominant within a matter of months, and we will make so much money. We are going to drill, baby, drill. And we will again open ANWR. Ronald Reagan tried to do it. Every single president from before Reagan tried to do it, and I got it done. ANWR is the largest drilling site anywhere in the world. It could be larger than Saudi Arabia, could be larger than Russia. It's in Alaska. And I got it done, and we worked to get it done. And one of the first things he did was terminate ANWR, and that was going to take care of all of Asia. That was going to make us so much money. We would have paid off debt. You would have gotten, I gave you the biggest tax reduction in history. You would have gotten even a bigger one. You were going to be just very happy. You were going to say, I like that guy very much. 20 million Americans are behind on their electric bills right now. It was just announced. 20 million Americans, they're struggling to pay their monthly bills at a record rate. There's never been anything like it. And it's all because of their anti-U.S. energy regime, which has caused Pennsylvania electricity prices to raise almost 50%.
That's a lot.
We will cut energy and electricity prices in half within 12 months. We will have your energy prices, your air conditioning, heating, cars if you buy a Tesla, which is good.
Good one.
We will have your energy prices cut in half. It'll be cut in half within a period of 1 year from January 20th, which is the day we take office. And that's going to save you a lot of money. And that's going to, in turn, bring down the prices of everything. Because, you know, more than anything else, people tell me about the groceries. The groceries are groceries. They use the... And what they're talking about is food. Everything's going to be coming down when we do that. We're also going to get your interest rates way down. We will bring automobile manufacturing back to the United States at levels never seen before. And we will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower again. It hasn't been there in many, many years. We had it started 4 years ago. The centerpiece of my plan for a manufacturing renaissance will be a 15% made in America corporate tax rate. In other words, if you make your product in the United States, you get a rate. So I cut it from 39% to 21%. Everyone said that was impossible. I got it done, and we had the best boom we've ever had. We did more revenue when we had it at 21 than when it was at 39. Think of it, much more.
Well, there it is.
The following year, we did much more. And then I'm going to take it from 21 to 15, which will make us the most competitive country in the world. Nobody will be able to compete with us. But that 15 rate only goes for those who make their product in America. They have to make their product here, otherwise they pay 21.
This is
and we will protect those companies moving into America and all of our existing companies with stiff tariffs placed on companies that don't move in. If they don't come in, if they don't want to make their product here, that's fine, but they're going to be tariffed. We have to protect our companies, and that's what we're going to do. The only way they can get out of paying those tariffs is to build their plants and factories in America. We may even be able to get Elon to build some of them. I think we will. And hire American workers for the job. We're going to hire American workers for the job. We will pass the Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country charges us 100 or 200% tax, then we will likewise charge them a 100 or 200% tax. We had a lot of problems on that one with the Senate, and we're going to get that done. Think of it. They charge us, and we don't charge them. Now they charge us. We're going to charge them the same thing. Reciprocal. It's reciprocal. I will not let Mexico, China, or any other country sell cars into the United States to the detriment of our auto workers, who will do better than they have ever done. We're going to bring back the car business like it was 50, 60, and 70 years ago. Everyone's going to want to be back here. And I will not approve Japan buying U.S. Steel 70 years ago, the greatest company anywhere in the world. It was the greatest company anywhere in the world, and now we have Japan buying U.S. Steel. I don't like that.
That's crazy.
We will deliver massive tax cuts for workers, and we will have a policy that I think is so great. No tax on tips.
Ooh.
No tax on overtime.
Oh.
And no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. No tax.
That's a lot.
And you know, when you think of it, our seniors were hurt so badly. Inflation has killed our seniors.
Just
you know,
how about no more tax?
Just
get rid of it.
Worse and worse every week, every month.
It's just annoying, bro. Like every year.
Just horrible. And they haven't gone down. They've only gone up. Prices have still only gone up.
Yeah.
And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on the credit card interest rates at 10%.
More.
People are paying 28% interest, 25% interest. I will always protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. We're not going to do anything with Social Security, but they're going to destroy Social Security.
If you're a gamer,
because
you get a
all of the
tax
migrants
credit.
coming in are going on between Medicare, Social Security, other programs, and nobody is able to afford it. I will settle the war in Ukraine. I will end the chaos in the Middle East. And I will prevent, I promise you, World War III. We're not going to have World War III.
Damn.
And right now, we're very close to having it.
Damn.
We will lead the world in space exploration. Thank you, Elon.
We're going to go to the moon.
Lead the world in military, and we will reach Mars before the end of my term. Elon promised me he was going to do that. I don't know. Can you do that? Stand up. Can we do that? He wants to reach. I think he's going to do it. JD, work on him. Work on him.
Did he just throw that in there? Just out of nowhere?
Work on him. JD is working on Elon. Now, he told me that we're going to win, and he's going to reach Mars by the end of our term, which is a big thing. Before China, before anybody.
Mars,
right?
that'd be good.
My money's on that guy right there. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. It's losing right now. It's losing right now, but I'll be able to do it. Other people won't. I'll tell these countries as they leave us I say, you want to do business in the United States? You're going back into the reserve currency. And if you don't, we're going to charge you a big, fat, beautiful tax to do business in the United States.
Big, fat, beautiful tax.
And they're going to say, I want to go back into the U.S. reserve currency. No, we're going to save it. But these people aren't going to save it. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to think. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a beautiful car, and a home. Very basic.
Look at the reflection. It looks like it's a halo. It does look like it has a halo.
We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield around our country. Keep critical race theory and transgender insanity.
Jesus.
We're going to keep it the hell out of our school. We're going to keep that insanity out of our school. And as I said, we will keep men out of women's sports.
It's crazy how that's even a talking point.
So demeaning to women. You saw that in the Olympics. They have female boxing, women's boxing.
Oh, God.
A young lady from Italy, very good boxer, very, very good. She was all excited, but she played a person who transitioned.
Not this.
Person transitioned, a male transitioned to a female.
No, she didn't.
And the young girl from Italy, beautiful young woman. I'm not allowed to say that anymore politically, but I'll say it. She was a beautiful young woman. If you say that, that's the end of your career, right? But it's not. If it is, so be it, okay? We've got to get back to real life. But this beautiful young lady is out, and
He's saying she
gets
hot as
bumped,
hell.
little jab, left jab. And she goes back, oh my God, I've never been hit like that. This is just like a defensive. Then he goes, the corner say, you can take her. You can. So they push her out. Boom, another one. And she says, that's enough. I can't do it. I can't take it. I've never seen anything like. So we had two people that transitioned. Both people, shockingly, won the gold medal in their division. So it's crazy.
Ooh.
And if you look at weightlifting contests, they're the best of all. For years and years and years they go, they put an eighth of a pound on one side of the barbell, an eighth of a pound on the other, and they can't do it. And the record standing for 18 years, they just can't do it. And then a guy comes along who never lifted before, and he puts 100 pounds on, and he goes like this, like it's nothing. It's so demeaning to women. We're not going to allow it to happen. It's ending. No men playing in women's sports. And we will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. We need hope. We need the American dream back, don't we? We're going to have the American dream. We're going to have the American dream, so every kid in your family is going to grow up and say, I want to be like Elon Musk. I want to have...
Of course.
I want to have $200 billion in cash. I'm going to be like Elon Musk. That's the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying, radical left agenda once and for all. We cannot have it happen. So you must get out and you must vote. Here in this incredible Commonwealth, we stand on the shoulders of generations of Pennsylvania patriots who gave everything they could give, every single thing for their rights and for their freedom. Pennsylvania is where our founding fathers declared American independence and sounded the beautiful Liberty Bell.
11 million bots.
It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, where General George Washington led his men on a daring mission across the Delaware, and where generations of tough, strong, beautiful miners and steelworkers put Pennsylvania's spirit into every single thing they did. And from Gettysburg to Germantown and Philadelphia to Barron Hill, and from Brandywine to right here in Butler, this is the place where Pennsylvania patriots poured out their blood with the love of their country. They love their country so much. And so in honor of all those American heroes who came before us, we will press forward, we will push onward, and together we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us, no matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles we must face.
Never lose.
Keep striving toward our magnificent American future. We will not fail. We will not allow ourselves to fail. From this day forward, we will always put America first, and we will take back and save the United States. November 5th, Election Day, will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together with the great people of Pennsylvania, we will make America powerful again.
There it is.
We will make America wealthy again.
Oh, here we go.
We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. God bless you. God bless you, Pennsylvania.